Hey, good morning. It is Monday. I'm just heading into the office here, and I was at Tony Robbins' Business Mastery event this past week, which was 5 days. It was awesome. It was really business focused, but I love the deep dive in the personal side of it because at the end of the day, the personal side of your life really affects the business. And so my friend sent me a text message. He says, "Hey, what were your biggest takeaways from the Tony Robbins event?" And to be honest, it's a hard question to answer because without being there, I can just say something like, "Oh, that's the biggest takeaways." Okay, great, awesome, right, good deal. And so being in that environment is just unbelievable. So here we go. Here's my 3 biggest takeaways from Business Mastery. First of all, this is business focused, or at least you think so. And so I've been to Date with Destiny, I've been to UPW. Actually, I went to Tony Robbins' original Business Mastery in 2009. A friend of mine, Ryan Angelo, invited me out there. And there was about 100 people in the room, and it was the first one. It wasn't that good, to be honest with you. So the beginning of that decade, so 2010 and beyond, now we're in 2020, so it's an awesome reboot, a restart. So the first thing I love about Business Mastery, and really just Tony's event, is just the energy. The awesome people that you meet, the stories that you hear, the people that you meet sitting next to you or at dinner, and just this environment of unlimited possibilities, and just the great people that you meet. So there's one girl that I met. She actually runs a company in Brazil. My wife is Brazilian, has a pretty large following in Brazil for women. This girl has this container low-cost housing system. My dad has this low-cost housing thing as well. So there's so much connections. And so the guy Jose, he runs a electronics refurbishing business in Puerto Rico, and he's been wanting to get into the US. Well, I have a friend, Dan, who's in my EO forum. He runs something similar to that, so I'm going to connect him up. And so it's this idea of connecting people together. How do I connect people? And so when I look at my profile, one of the things of who I am is I love to connect people. I love to connect people together. Regardless of what will happen, I have no ulterior motive. I just want to help you move forward and make these connections, and who knows what can happen from that. And so just being in that environment is just unbelievable. So if you haven't been to any of Tony's events, go to UPW. Date with Destiny is amazing. Business Mastery is pretty good. I would give it maybe a 7 of 8. And the reason for that is a lot of the business stuff, I think a lot of people go into it I want to learn how to drive traffic, and I want to learn how to do this and do that and do that. And there is some of that, but it's not all of it. And so there's so many components to a business. I mean, you have so many different industries, people from all over 53 countries. And so how do you really compress all of this business mastery in an event? My friend Ryan Dice spoke. Donald Miller from Story Brand spoke. David Meerman, Scott, I believe his last name is, he spoke. There's so many amazing speakers that were there that gave great content, right? I know most of those guys' content. I've gone through a bunch of their courses. Story Brand is amazing. So number one, the power of the people, the power of the energy, the positivity, and just being in that environment is just amazing. Number 2 is start with the what, not the how. And I've been guilty of this, where it's well, how are we going to do that? We can do this. I don't know. Well, but first of all, what do you want? What is the goal? What is the want? And so what I mean by that is you can think of I want a new car. Well, how am I going to get it? Well, I need money. Okay, well, how am I going to get money? Well, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And you can come up with 30 different things on how to get the what. I love the guys from The Buried Life. They actually had an MTV show years ago. They have a book. It's called What Do You Want to Do Before You Die? Long story short is these 4 college kids, they're out to go out and get jobs, and they're oh, I don't want to do this sort of stuff. But what do we want? They made a list of 100 crazy things, play basketball with Obama, throw a pitch in a baseball game. What else did you ride a bull? All these crazy things that for anyone to accomplish it in a lifetime is an accomplishment. But they made a list and they just attacked it. They went after it hardcore. because that was the what. And now you can figure out, well, how can I do it? Well, who do we know? How do we get in touch with the secretary who knows Obama? And then boom, and then through the network trying to figure out how to get that. Well, how do we write a bowl? All right, well, let's find out where the bowl place is and then contact them, and like, you can figure out the how. The how is the really easy part. And so that was, like, I've heard it before, right? Probably like you've heard that before, but it was so simple. And it's like, yeah, well, of course, I want to figure out where you want to go, and then you can figure out the how. And so first the what, then the how. So I have my own list. I call it Seize the Day. So I want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I want to climb Machu Picchu. I want to buy my parents a house, which, if you're watching this, parents, that's secretly one of my dreams, which, guess what? I can figure out a way to make it happen. So, figuring that stuff out and then making it so it's actually exciting to want to achieve that goal. One thing too is, we're hiring some people right now. And if you really, really, really want a job, how do you get the attention? How do you step up? How do you be different? And so, like most people, they just submit a resume and forget about it, right? They're submitting resumes here. But that doesn't work, right? I mean, some job postings will get 400 people that will post, and stand out. Like, there's 400 other people that will want the position. And so, well, how can you do it? Well, you can write a letter. We had a guy that dropped off donuts. Like, you can be creative. Like, what else can you do to just stand out, to get the attention, right? There's a whole formula, AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action. So how do you get the attention? And be creative with that. Like, go out of your way, do things that would seem impossible. And obviously, if you're hiring for a job, you want to make sure that you got the skills, right? So you first got to get the door open. But if getting the door open is the only way of you just submitting a resume, like, you're never going to get the door open. No wonder why you can't get a job, right? So first the what, then the how. And the third one is just the grit it takes. Seeing Jesse Itzler, who I've seen before, seeing Sarah Blakely, I've seen them speak before, and it really hit me, like, just the amount of freaking grit and hustle that they really put into building their businesses and just being creative. Like, this gets back to the what and then the how, and not in a way that's self-serving, but serving the customer. This is a whole other thing where, again, I've heard this, right? And I think in business, you get to the point where you want to be self-serving, like, what do I need to do? Or what do I need to do? Or maybe you're serving your team, but are you really serving the customer? And so looking through on a daily basis, weekly basis, like, how else can I serve my customer? What other information can we provide them? Can we, get an expert to speak in front of the audience? Can we create a new template or something that they can use? Can we create a video series? Like, how else can I truly, truly serve our target customer? All right, how else can we just serve them? And I think, when it really comes from that serving side of it, like, you'll see great results. You heard that with Jesse. I know that's true for Ryan Dice, who was a speaker. I know that's true for Sarah Blakely and a lot of the people that have seen success. I know that's true for me, but I got away from it. And so it's just a good reminder to focus on that. And so what I wrote down, one of my things to do is get a printout, and put the customer first. So I want to put that in the office and really just remember, like, what else can I do? What else can I do? How can I serve? How can I serve? So there's 3 things I wrote down. So lead, inspire, and serve. That's what my 2020 is about. I hope this video helped you. Make it a great day. And if you ever want to get to Tony Robbins, definitely get to it. Go to UPW. Date with Destiny will change your life. And all the other stuff Tony has to offer on YouTube, podcasts. It's amazing. So take care.